almost felt the need to make a video about, because this is something that has been plaguing my thoughts virtually every single day, because ever since I was really young, I have been able to hold a grudge. I'm actually just now kind of getting over grudges that I've had for 8 years. People that probably don't even remember that I exist. I remember everything somebody says to me, does to me. I don't forget about. Not only that, but I think I have heightened reactions towards the majority of situations, things that people might say that's not that big of a deal. Don't be too sensitive about these things. I have these strong reactions, but I also am very strong at suppressing natural reactions to things. I don't want to make a scene about things. I don't want to be seen as overly dramatic, and so a lot of the time I just won't say anything. I've done that for years. I think that it definitely plays into why I have such strong resentment. I've been ruminating on situations like these, again, virtually every single day, reaching the point where I'm starting to feel the physical effects of doing that. I feel rage so deeply, and I feel anger so deeply, and ruminating on encounters that I've been having, I feel that animosity in my body so deeply. There's two in particular that I want to talk about that I've really been thinking about. If you've been experiencing something similar to what I've been, I think that you'd be able to understand and validate my strong feelings towards what I'm going to be talking about. But for the majority of people, your first instinct would say, okay, you need to just keep it pushing. You need to just keep moving. That's really difficult for me. I'm starting to get a glimpse of just how detrimental that could potentially be. There's one grudge that I've held against somebody for the past year. I had this encounter where this person said something that caused me to feel so humiliated. I wanted to say something about it, and I just didn't. I think I was just filled with embarrassment and humiliation from this person's criticisms and from what this person was saying and telling me to do, that I just kind of went along with it. I just did not say anything to this person, and I allowed this person to say something that was humiliating to me, something they did not have any business saying to me. The weird thing about it is, yes, I felt strong feelings shortly after the situation, but I don't really remember dwelling on it too much. But then months later, my anger towards them started to grow. The constant being passive, the way that I've conditioned myself to be, has just breeded more resentment. Being passive, not saying anything when you feel like people are violating you, humiliating you, being rude to you, and you are just going along with it because that feels like the easiest thing to do because you're afraid of speaking up and making waves. You don't want to upset anybody. A lot of the time for me, I'm kind of questioning, wait, am I even allowed to be upset? Am I even making a big deal about this? Or maybe I shouldn't say something because this person has been helping me with things, or what they did isn't that too big of a deal, or they're going through their own stuff. Just all of these excuses to not say anything. And then you're thinking back on this and you realize how detrimental it actually is. And so anyway, my anger towards this person really started to ignite sometime a few months ago, and I have thought about this person every day. I did develop a hatred for this person. My anger towards them was so strong. I would just wake up in the middle of the night, start thinking about them. I would just get so upset and start throwing things, screaming, thinking the nastiest things that you could think about a person. We say, it's a strong word, you don't really mean that. What I was experiencing was the textbook definition of the word hate. Meanwhile, this person is completely oblivious and they think that I'm on good terms with them. I think my grudge toward this person has kind of subsided. Am I that fond of them right now? No, but my hate towards them is decreasing. There's another person that I've been thinking about quite often, and I just actually met this person pretty recently. I picked up on little things about this person, just certain facial expressions they've been making towards me, smart remarks they've directed at me. I've just been picking up on this person and the way they behave towards me. I've never done anything to this person. I've never said anything to disrespect this person. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this person is going through social things or their own things where they're insecure and afraid of rejection, and so that's why they come across a certain way. There could be some other things. Maybe they're on the spectrum. I don't know. I just try to come up with all of these things to give people the benefit of the doubt. But but then you see how they treat other people, and it's just very different to how they treat you. And you're kind of wondering, what did I do to deserve lesser treatment than how you're treating this person? It's kind of like you have some kind of vendetta against me. And I try to be self-aware. I try to think about things that I could have said to make that person upset, and things that I could have done that could have warranted having strong feelings towards me. But I literally have not said anything to this person besides hi. That's the only thing. Yeah, there's just nothing I can think about upon reflecting that could warrant them having some kind of an issue with me. So yeah, I had a pretty strong disliking towards this person. And again, whenever I dislike somebody, it's kind of something that I just end up dwelling on. If I see this, I just feel rage ignite. Every time I would see them, I would just think about how much I hate them. As time went on, this person was nicer to me. I just kind of was like, okay, maybe they're just like that. Maybe they're just someone that's just a little more standoffish, but they have a good heart. Maybe they're a little bit sassy, but they still have a good heart. Or maybe you're just reading too much into things. And then I'm getting so mad just thinking about it. I'm thinking about what I'm about to talk about. It's already getting me so upset. Okay, so anyway, it's been a while since this person's really made comments towards me or snarky facial expressions at me. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm on better terms with this person. I don't really have any ill will towards this person. And then it starts to continue again, and more eye rolls, more snarky comments. And then the last straw that I've had, that's just kind of at this point, I hate this person, is whenever you are invading my personal space. I am really big on personal space, and I don't like people to invade my personal space, and that's kind of what happened with this person. I'm not going to explain exactly what happened. I still do see this person, and so on the off chance that they do see this video and know that I'm talking about them, I just don't want to have any backlash from that. But long story short, this person invades my personal space. What I'm thinking about right now, I'm just thinking the audacity of you to do that, because I know you would not treat anybody else like that. I don't want to make the situation sound more dramatic than what it is. Maybe objectively it's not really that big of a deal, but it is a big deal to me. Anytime where I'm being treated in a way by somebody who I really don't think would treat anybody else in that way, that causes me to have really strong feelings towards that. This recent encounter kind of just solidified the fact that I hate this person. Hate is a strong word, and I mean every single iota of each letter of that word. And the thing is, when the encounter happened, I just didn't say anything. I was just like, wait, did that just actually happen? Like, this actually just happened. I didn't want to make waves. I was concerned about the backlash I would get from somebody who already doesn't respect me. I've been thinking about this virtually every day. I don't even know how to continue with this video. Like, it just makes me so upset to think about. Oh my gosh. People say grudges kill. I'm starting to get a glimpse of what they mean by that. And I kind of feel a physical reaction thinking about these people and thinking about these seemingly small encounters. I feel myself having to manually breathe, almost having to be like, because I'm losing my breath, developing minor chest pain from thinking about them, thinking about my interactions with them, thinking about that I'm too scared to speak up. That has caused me physical pain. I don't really know how this is gonna continue, to be completely honest. I don't even know what speaking up in these situations would even look like, because the things that I want to say to these people, I don't imagine how that wouldn't get me in trouble. I've always been afraid of getting in trouble. I barely got in trouble in school. I got in trouble a few times in early elementary school for talking too much, but other than that, I don't get in trouble. Most people that meet me love me. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not somebody who has a lot of enemies, and it's because of this passive nature that I've developed. Things that I want to say, I feel like I would be making an enemy, and it's weird because, again, why are you worried about making an enemy about someone that's already disrespecting you? I don't want to do anything violent. I don't want to physically hurt somebody. Do I want to hurt people with my words? Sometimes I do. A lot of the times I do, actually, when I ruminate on my anger towards these people. The audacity of people saying certain things to me that they don't need to say. Two situations that I'm talking about, that doesn't even scratch the surface. There's so many other things that have been said to me. I feel like I could make an hour-long video about that. I really don't care to be around people. I don't care to talk to people. I don't even want there to be a door or a new grudge to emerge. And of course, boo-hoo, everybody has pain. We all just have to swallow and move on with our lives, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I know that, but I don't want not to be as easygoing as I portray myself to be. I don't believe in calling people too sensitive because I don't think that you can control your natural reaction to something. Yes, there's work you can do to make these reactions not as strong. I am putting in that effort and I am putting in the work to do that. I feel like I do what people urge you to do. I don't say anything. I don't respond to these situations, but that does not change my natural reaction to them. I have a strong reaction, but I pretend that I don't to appease the situation. That's kind of what people want you to do. People will say, oh, don't make it too big of a deal about this. You're doing too much, blah, 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 blah. That's what I got told so much as a child. And look at how detrimental this has been. And you know, this is only going to keep happening. Let's be real. People are nasty. People are mean. Sometimes they don't need, like the first person that I talked about, the person that humiliated me last year, they weren't trying to be mean. And then there's a person that I talked about that I had the encounter with a few weeks ago who I do think is just generally a mean person, to be completely honest. Regardless, you know, you can't control how people are. I think that I have just played it cool way too much. I just have to say something, even if I end up making a fool out of myself, even if I end up being embarrassing, even if everybody hates me, at that point, I think it would be worth it. That's kind of what I want and kind of how I wish I was. Right now, I just don't trust myself to be as courageous. That is the cause of me having so much resentment. I don't see a scenario where I speak up of these situations and I'm not in hot water with somebody. At this point, that's just how it's gonna have to be. I wish that I could just say that and then trust myself to act accordingly. I know that I'm probably gonna be subjected to more ridicule, and that is horrifying to me, but at the same time, it's a lose-lose. Both of the people that I have talked about are still in my life in some capacity, but there's also grudges that I've held that I think these are things that I'm sort of starting to let go of, but I still want to talk about them because I did think about these things for years as well. Encounters from middle school and early high school of people just being downright cruel. I think these situations are more of a big deal. I think the things that I'm talking about are objectively a big deal. And if I explain these situations, I think that they would warrant a stronger reaction. When I entered middle school, early high school, that's when I kind of just eliminated every single personal boundary. And I just laughed most of these things off. And I constantly, for years after that, when these people were no longer in my life, I would replay what I wanted to say to these people. Really nasty things. Probably the nastiest things that you could say about a person. There's people I went to school with that I could easily, and I did actually think about this, maybe I could just let out the anger that I have towards these people by creating a fake social media account and sending them a nasty DM about how much I hate them, and then block them so they don't have a chance to respond, just so I can let everything out. And theoretically, you know, I could do that. I could easily find these people's social media accounts and I could send them a really nasty message. Then I'm kind of thinking, okay, is it worth it to do that? That does sound like an appetizing idea. You know, I could send an anonymous message to them. I could let them know the disdain that I have towards them. I just wanted to clarify that I did not actually do this. I think it was a little unclear in the video, but no, I did not send anybody a nasty message harassing them or telling them how much I hated them. I don't think that's something that realistically would be constructive. So I just wanted to make that clear because I think the way that it seemed in the video looked like I was considering doing that, but realistically, I was never going to do that. Okay, carry on. If you're not going to do that, then you need to let this go. Maybe you need to write a nasty letter to them and pretend that you're sending it to them and then burn the letter. And I actually have done that with a few people, and that has actually been relieving to me. So maybe I should do something like that, but I need to let this go. I think that this is actually a very normal part of life. Everybody has people that violate them. Unfortunately, you just can't control people. There are some people we probably wish we could control just so we can get them to stop harming us and harming other people. But you can't do that. I think the majority of people have had people that, you know, even 20 years down the line, and I don't want to be thinking about these people 20 years down the line. I want these people erased from my memory. There's so many people that have gone through horrible things, and yet they swallowed their pain and they made something of themselves, of their lives. And I'm not happy that these people have been hurt, but I am happy of how they've been able to deal with their hurt. Maybe they haven't fully made peace with people. Maybe that's just a a part of life. Maybe as much as people want to say forgiveness and you need to forgive people so you can move on, maybe it's not fully possible to fully forgive people unless the person just flat out apologizes to you. But I think unless that person apologizes or unless you did something to take action, I think there's always going to be a little bit of resentment. I don't think you're ever going to fully forgive people. There's probably people that I think I genuinely have let go of my grudge towards them, but if I saw them in public, I still probably wouldn't speak to them, and I think that might just be a part of life. That's going to be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. There's so much more that I could say about this topic, and I don't even know how this video is going to turn out. Feel free to respectfully leave your comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys super soon in my next video. Peace.